Hello, I'm Kimberlie and welcome to the weekend edition of the Native News Update. It's Friday, November 4th. Many of the stories you hear here can be found at IndianCountryNews.com. And here's the news for the day from the Associated Press and other Native news sources. According to a study released November 2nd at the 68th Annual National Congress of American Indians Conference, 40% of children and nearly 60% of adults on the Pine Ridge Reservation in South Dakota suffer from moderate to urgent dental needs, including infections and other problems that could be life-threatening. The study, the first in 12 years on the state of oral health at this remote reservation, paints a disturbing picture of unchecked decay, gum disease, and other serious dental problems that can lead to lower performance in school, infections, and even death. The W.K. Kellogg Foundation funded the checkup study, which showed that 90% of participants showed signs of active decay, a rate 3 times that typically found in the United States. Dr. William Cullen, president of the American Dental Association, responded to the Pine Ridge study by saying that the ADA historically has been the most prominent advocate for increasing resources to help improve oral health in Indian communities, including adequate funding for the Indian Health Service to fulfill its mission. They have launched the Native American Oral Health Project in cooperation with the state dental societies in Arizona, New Mexico, North Dakota, and South Dakota in order to ramp up efforts to empower the tribes and their people to take better command of their own oral health. For more information on the project, you can visit nativeoralhealth.com. The Colville Tribe in Washington are worried that the state's proposed wolf management plan may hurt subsistence hunting by its members. The tribes told members of the Washington Fish and Wildlife Commission that a plan to restore at least 5 breeding pairs of wolves in eastern Washington has the potential to reduce herds of elk, deer, and moose on its reservation. Tribal members harvest up to 1,000 deer, 400 elk, and 50 moose each year, and worry a large increase in the number of wolves will increase competition for the animals. Joe P1 of the Colville Tribe's Fish and Wildlife Department told the commission that they have 60% unemployment on their reservation, and to be able to rely on subsistence hunting is critical. The comments came at the commission held the final public meeting of its proposed plan in the Spokane suburb of Airway Heights. The commission is expected to take final action on the wolf plan at its December meeting. 3 of the state's 5 known breeding packs are located in the Northeast, where the tribe's reservation is located. The tribe wants to ensure that the state wolf management plan provides a balance between the needs of wolves and hunters. Big Brothers Big Sisters celebrates Native American Heritage Month with a new campaign to enroll more youth and volunteers in its unique, culturally relevant mentoring program developed to help Native American Alaska Native children achieve in school and succeed in life. The program includes a public service announcement featuring professional women's basketball player Tani Robinson, who is one of the first Native Americans ever selected into the WNBA draft.
Hi, I'm Tani Robinson. What if every child believed they had the power to make their dreams come true? What would that start? Mentoring is about putting a child on a path to success and giving kids the power to believe that they can achieve their dreams. Every time you donate time or money to Big Brothers Big Sisters, you start something. Start something today at bigbrothersbigsisters.org.
With support from the Office of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, Big Brothers Big Sisters established its Native American Tribal Community Initiative in 2008. The program serves more than 3,500 Native American young people, 42% of whom are matched with Native American mentors. For more information about the initiative, you can visit bigbrothersbigsisters.org. A bill by U.S. Representative Tom Cole to encourage business between American Indian tribes and Turkey received a boost November 3rd from a key lawmaker who urged quick passage. Representative Don Young of Alaska, chairman of the House Subcommittee on Indian and Alaska Native Affairs, pledged to move the Oklahoma Republicans' bill as a standalone measure if necessary, citing the need for economic development in Indian country. Under Cole's bill, the Secretary of Interior would be directed to create a demonstration project to allow up to 6 tribes or groups of tribes to develop their own leasing guidelines to engage in business with companies based in Turkey. After those guidelines win approval by the Interior Secretary, The tribes would be free to operate under them without seeking approval for every individual lease. If the bill succeeds, Cole predicted other foreign governments and corporations may well follow Turkey's example and invest in Indian country. The Peoria Fire Department's rescue efforts at Lake Pleasant, an all-day kindergarten program, and a West Valley leadership organization are set to receive grants from the Tohono O'odham Nation. The Peoria City Council this week approved dispersing the grants worth nearly $235,000. Mayor Bob Barrett, a vocal supporter of the tribe's plans to build a casino on the Glendale-Peoria line in Arizona, said the financial support was not tied to his congressional testimony on the tribe's behalf. Tribal officials said that they want to be a good neighbor to the West Valley and to expect more financial help if the casino and resort are built. The grants come from a gaming revenue grant from the tribe. The Tohono O'odham Nation gives a percentage of its revenues from gaming operations, largely benefiting nonprofits and school districts. Conference organizers for the 2012 International Conference of Tribal Archives, Libraries, and Museums in Catoosa, Oklahoma are seeking session proposals. The deadline for the proposals is November 15th. The conference is set for June 4th through the 7th at the Hard Rock Casino and Resort in Catoosa. The four-day conference will bring together cultures from across the nation and around the world to exchange best practices for Indigenous archives, libraries, and museums. The conference features 6 pre-conference workshops, 2 pre-conference tours, 56 concurrent sessions, 2 general sessions, 3 keynote luncheons, and a post-conference town hall style meeting. Conference tracks focus on library, archive, museum collections, programs and services, as well as specializing topics such as cultural tourism, advocacy, oral history projects, language programs, digitization, preservation, and fundraising. For more information, you can visit atalm.org. The Center for Native American Youth has debuted its first public service announcement, which features Boston Red Sox center fielder Jacoby Ellsbury. Former U.S. Senator Byron Dorgan of North Dakota founded the Washington, D.C.-based center, and he also appears in the spot along with Jefferson Keel, president of the National Congress of American Indians. The center premiered the spot November 2nd for tribal leaders attending the National Congress of American Indians annual conference in Portland, Oregon. The 30-second PSA describes Native American youth as the most at-risk population in the country. It says the Youth Center works to prevent teen suicide and improve awareness of other challenges Native youth face, including poverty, health disparities, substance abuse, and gang activity.
I don't know what's in second or third place in most people's lives, but I know what's in first: our children.
Native American youth are the most at-risk population in this country.
And that's why I created the Center for Native American Youth.
We are working with tribes and families to improve the lives of Native American children, and most of all, promote hope.
We focus on preventing teen suicide and shining a light on the challenges Native youth face.
Please help us build better opportunities for Native American children. Visit our website.
For more information on the Center for Native American Youth, you can visit cnay.org. Sterlin Harjo, a Tulsa filmmaker whose film Four Sheets to the Wind and Barking Water tell contemporary stories of the Oklahoma tribal members, is being honored for his contribution to the state's cinema heritage. The Oklahoma Film Critics Circle on November 5th will present the Tillman Award to Harjo at the ceremony in Oklahoma City, where his work will be shown as part of the Oklahoma City Museum of Art's American Indian Cinema Showcase. Harjo, 31, who has worked on his feature films with the help of the Sundance Institute Filmmaker Lab, was raised in Holdenville and is a member of both the Seminole and Creek Nations. Native Children Survival's latest music picture campaign, Who's Gonna Save You?, will have its film festival premiere at the American Indian Film Festival in San Francisco, California on November 11th, and its world broadcast premiere during the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Durban, South Africa in November and December. Directed and produced by Eagle Thunder Entertainment recording artist Robbie Romero, and executive produced by Eagle Thunder Entertainment artist and PBS Native News Magazine series host Stacy Thunder, Who's Gonna Save You is a combination of music video and motion picture presenting an indigenous perspective to a global crisis and calling for the restoration of life and balance. A teenage Apache peace warrior journeys on his skateboard through New Orleans, Louisiana, 5 years post-Katrina, as he travels through the aftermath in the Ninth Ward and the nightlife of the French Quarter. Visions of natural and man-made disasters and their powerful warnings fill his mind.
We touched down in Crescent City, jazz, blues, and me. Oceans rising higher and higher as the Arctic melts into the sea. Gathering clouds surround us in poverty of the rich man's greed. No time to point a finger, we've got to face reality. Who's gonna save you? Hey, who'll take the risk? Who's gonna save you from all this? All alone in the forest with the last standing tree, clear cut and sold to the highest bidder. Now what will our children breed? We're spinning out of balance, we've got to face reality. Who's gonna save you? Who'll take the risk? Who's gonna save you from all this?
And for more information on the music picture, you can go to eaglethunder.com. And that's another roundup of news from Indian Country on this edition of the Native News Update. I'd like to thank you for joining me, and have a grand day.